Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 playthrough. This time we're in the, what is this, a 2021-22 season. Still playing through the non-conference schedule. I said last time that I would probably get through that offline and then come back and start the conference schedule. Just kind of zip through these non-conference games, but uh, the team started playing a little bit better, and so I figured, maybe I'll do it like I've done with the previous couple seasons and let you see. Uh, we did the first game on the road, just a very disappointing loss last episode. I thought I'd give us another one here, and today we're going to be at home against Liberty, and then let those two games be all we show of the non-conference, but just to give you an update on how we're playing and what we look like in game. Um, I'm not feeling as bad about the team. We've had some tough losses and we've had some pretty good wins, and we've had some close losses. I'll probably go through the games here before I get started simming today's game out, but um, it's in some ways the team is about like it was last year, in that shooting guard Scott Jensen, he's leading the team in scoring, 12.4 points. That's where I say it's somewhat like it was last year, because he's not as good of a scorer as McInnes was, or before him Martin. Those two guys led us in scoring at the shooting guard position for 2 years, but I think I'm still going to stick with favoring outside, using some of those in the strategy, using five out, not as much, but still using the shuffle and the motion and trying to get some good jump shots, mid-range jump shots, posting up and stuff like that. But when we're losing because our shooting is bad. So it's kind of I'm torn, I guess, by going with that strategy. We just don't have the inside guys to really dominate a team inside. Mallet, I think, has the size, but he just doesn't have the play. When he's been playing, you can see here two things that stick out to me. First off, he's getting just over 10 minutes, not as much time as he got last year, because we finally got three centers to play around with, but just zero point 0.1 blocks per game, under 2 rebounds a game. I kind of expect a little bit more from him when he comes into play, and he's not looking all that great. On the flip side of that, though, Hart, freshman recruit, has the same height as Holland, but a little bit more weight, a little bit more bulk, I would hope. Both rated at 2 stars right now. Hart has a little bit of potential, not Mallet's potential, so that's where I'm having trouble with it, but he's playing better. Over 4 rebounds a game, just under 5, and he's getting more minutes though, so I have to factor that in. But all in all, I think because of these centers that I have, and also power forwards, we're not looking that great either at power forward in terms of size and kind of players I think you really need at that position. We're having to stick with that outside shooting strategy, and we've had some games, I'll just show you some of the losses, where we struggled to get to 30%. So long term, I know we're either going to have to, a lot of these young guys are going to have to pick up the offenses a little bit better and get better shooting, get better at finding open shots, however it plays out. Or, I don't know, we may have to give more time to these guys inside and develop them a little bit. But just to recap what the games have been like, after that really tough loss to Grand Canyon, and we opened up 5 games on the road, we came back and won a very close one against Cal State Bakersfield on the road, and they're in the same conference as Grand Canyon. We won 74-72 and almost lost it, almost blew it at the end. Lost to Buffalo on the road. Figured we would. They're pretty competitive, I think. I think they're in a pretty decent conference now. I don't know if it's Atlantic 10, but anyway, they're probably in a conference similar to Ohio Valley, but maybe a better team in that conference. 69-78 lost there. Then this is the surprise. Ohio State had us down 15 at the half. We outscored them in the second half and almost won this game. And I mean, it was tied, and I really think we took a lead late in the game. We just could not hold it, and they just turned it on when they needed to really squeak by and sneak out of there with the win. That would have been a humongous upset. Would have been, honestly, my biggest win ever with this team had we have pulled that one out. But, well, I won't say that. Our biggest win ever was the win against Tennessee in the opening round of the Final Four tournament my first year. I can't forget that. But then we came back and had two good wins on the road against Citadel, and then a big win at home against Wofford, 82-60. And then this Denver Pioneers team, I don't know how well they are. They have a pretty decent record, but this is the kind of losses I'm talking about. This is focusing mainly on outside, an outside strategy. And we were 38.5% shooting, 5 for 26 and 3-pointers. Another big thing too, I mentioned or talked about it last episode, fouls when you're playing on the run or on the road. Sorry, it's crazy the foul trouble you'll get into on the road with this game. It's not as big a difference here, or maybe it doesn't look like as big a difference, but we only went to the line 6 times. Personal fouls for us, 15, 10 for them. This was one of our lower ones. Just to show you a couple more away games. Against Buffalo on the road. Personal fouls for us, 14 for them, 20. So okay, so maybe I'm using sour grapes here, but Grand Canyon, that first game that we were blown out in, I mean, fouls, 24 for us, 12 for them. So that's double. I don't know. Maybe that's not enough to do it to give you a trend line, but it seems like I notice it quite a bit anyway. But enough, I guess, of that. That does sound like I'm whining, but I think it's one of those things that makes winning on the road even tougher. But I guess, just to get back to the team, maybe a couple things to look at here. I still am working on the moods of some of these players when I can. I think a lot of it comes down to getting play time. Scott Jensen is starting to improve both with coach and team, so I'm hoping that's going to be good. I still don't know why Speedy McMillian, who has turned into a pretty decent point guard, to be honest, just a 2-star currently, but he's got some good potential. He's getting a lot of minutes. I'm hoping his coach relationship's going on. The team relationship's getting better. If you look at the game logs, he got over 30 minutes in that last game against Denver. Didn't play too well. He did give us 8 assists, though, which was a season high for him. So I'm starting to feel pretty good about Jensen and McMillian. I mean, those are 2 recruits from last year. Maybe these are 2 guys I can build on. Jepson has been injured this year, so his numbers are off. He's still giving me the rebounds. He's not scoring much, but I think that's just because he's been really injured the last few games. And I say really, it was like at 87%, and I think that impacted his scoring. He's healthy now. I'm hoping he's going to be back on track. Some of the other freshmen and recruits, I'm not being blown away. Like Ike King, for instance, this guy, he's getting, I think, a pretty good amount of time. 11 minutes. I mean, I think for a freshman, that's pretty good. But he's not doing much when he's out there. Here and there, a few rebounds, 5 in that last game against Denver. He's not scoring much at all. And it seems like I've seen, just watching the games play out, I see him get the ball under the basket sometimes and he'll throw it back out. So I'm not sure if that's because I've got the outside. And I say, when I say that he's under the basket, he's he's open, and he's throwing it back out, kicking it back outside. So I don't know if that's just because I've got my strategy where it is, or if that's something this guy's like still getting his confidence up. Maybe that's programmed into the game. I don't know if it would go that far though. I have a feeling that he's just not a very good scorer, and that's why it's doing that. He's rated low inside, so that's probably why. Now that I think about it, but I need to see a little bit more from him before I feel good about my power forwards. Harriman, it's about the same deal. He's not getting the minutes though that Ike King is getting. He's a redshirt freshman. I may start tweaking that a little bit in the depth chart to give him more time. And last thing I'll touch on, recruiting. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm getting some small forwards, which is where we're going to be hurting. I'm looking at some out-of-state guys here. I'm going to try to work on them as the season progresses. They're 2 stars, but in the case of Williams here out of South Carolina, he's rated pretty highly, and he did at least take my calls. So I'm going to try to scout him as much as I can, and may even see if he'll come to visit us, or more, even better, really, is if I get a chance to go see him, I will, and I think that'll help us out. But that's the way the team's looking. I guess I could do one thing else, and that's just look at scoring and stats like that. The scoring leader outside of Jensen and McMillian, like I say, he's already been an upgrade over Cunningham from last year. I expect Jepson's going to start scoring here pretty soon. I think Greg Laws and Marshak, even though they've been coming off the bench, I still like the play that they give me. I'm going to miss these guys, both seniors. Laws a power forward, small forward. Marshak, I'm putting Marshak in shooting guard occasionally because he's good at outside shooting and free throws. These guys are really helping us off the bench, and I think it's making, it's helping. Well, Greg Laws is actually starting, but the way I've got the depth charts going, I'm giving these other power forwards and King and Harriman pretty good time, even putting Hart, the center, in there at power forward. But I do like what they bring to the table. They've been pretty decent players overall this year. And then rebounds, let's look at assists. McMillian over 4, so that's pretty good. Getting a couple from Jensen. Cunningham has looked terrible. I mean, when he plays, he turns the ball over a lot. He doesn't score. He was just really not that great of a point guard overall. And then on rebounds, let's see, total rebounds. Jepson's still leading the way, but like I say, Travis Hart, if I were to pick these 3 centers right now, I would lean on him as being the best option or the best player of the bunch. But season's early. I think a lot can happen once we hit those conference games. And today what we're going to do is we're going up against Liberty. The fact that it's home might give us an advantage, but believe it or not, I think this may have been, let's see, Ohio State, they were 64-36. So this Liberty team, in terms of scouting, they are the 65. So they are rated a better chance to beat us than even Ohio State was. They've got the advantage at point guard and power forward and on the bench. So because of that, I might, instead of doing the outside shooting focus, I may go more balanced to start and see if we start getting some points inside, and if that can be the way we sneak a win in. But let's go ahead and get it started. And I guess I didn't say, but our record overall is 3-4. So I thought we were going to struggle to even win 3 games the way we looked in that first one, but at least we pulled out a few. All right, so let's get it started. And like I say, I'm going to go with that balanced focus to start at least. Slow the offense down, but I want the rebounds. I want us really crashing the boards this time. And then a little bit more on the defensive side, and let's see what kind of game we got here. And first possession, we have a turnover. Jepson throws it away. Jepson, I said that it's the injuries probably are keeping him from playing well. I really hope that's what it is because he is my best player. We haven't scored yet, but Holland hits a three-pointer. He can do that, but on the other end, he's called for a charge. And they hit a three-pointer, so they're up early 5-3. And it's a foul. McMillian, they're up 7-3. And Holland, 5 points inside, so the rest of the team can start hitting. But, man, why are we not getting any rebounds? And now we get a foul to take them to the line. We are not getting any rebounds on this team. 6-0, in fact. And they're up 12-5 already. Yeah, we're not. I'm gonna call a timeout when I can. I'm trying to. I wanna praise Mike Holland. Yeah, he's not gonna listen, but I'm trying to get away from screaming and showing concern with these guys because it hasn't really helped that much. But we are set to crash the boards pretty high. We're up 3-1 on fouls. I'm gonna raise the intensity just a little bit. I'm gonna stick with balanced. Jepson converted a 3-point play there. But we're still down by 6. Oh, that was a good series. We got the either steal or block and then scored. And then another foul on the other end sends them to the line. There's 3 for 4 free throw shooting right now. And we throw it away. Turnovers, 5 for us, 3 for them. Another foul, so we're up to 5 team fouls. It could very well be that this is just the fact with this team. We're young, we're probably not disciplined, and that could be where the fouls are coming from. We definitely, it feels that way. I think I'm going on just a few games from it, but we've had games where we have definitely been way ahead of the other team in fouls. I'm going to go outside. I think I've seen enough. We're gonna have to start shooting. I think to get back in it. We're just 4 for 8 field goals. We're not taking enough shots at this point. They've already got 16 attempts. We keep sending them to the line too. It's an 11-point game. There's a 3-pointer though from Marshak. But they come right back and score. We're not playing really good at all here. Liberty definitely holds the advantage in terms of the way they were scouted, but that looked like he just blew by us. Rebounds, though, it's 7 offensive rebounds. It says six total rebounds, so that doesn't make sense. But they're really handling us on the rebound side. But we do get a foul there. Marshak going to the line. He hits 1 of 2. So we're 2 of 3 in the free throws. We may need to start shooting more 3-pointers. We've hit 2 of 2 there. But we just, what are they playing defensively? We're 9 turnovers to their 3. And then it's a foul on the other end. This is the point where I say it doesn't matter. And I just turn the intensity up. Because we're going to get the fouls anyway. We need to somehow get back into this game real quick before the half, and we throw it away. Good 3-pointer there, looks like. Another foul. McMillian Jepson, he's up to 8 points, so he's having a better game than he has been in a while. Ike King took a shot that time and got fouled, so he hits both his free throws. That's good. We're still 4 for 5 in free throws, but they have the advantage on the fouls right now. Jepsen misses inside. Getting the rebounds here lately, though. Until that one. And it's another foul. So we're up to 9 fouls. I don't think it matters at this point because, like I say, I just think that they're definitely gonna have the advantage on that one. Just 3 fouls for them with 6 minutes left in the half. And it's a 17-point game. I think it's time to see if we can just get back in here. We're not going to win inside, unfortunately. I guess that was wishful thinking. And they're just tearing us up. Oh, good play there from Travis Hart. I'm also going to do this. I'm going to turn the crashing the boards up a lot. I don't know how that works with the strategy, but they're up by 21. I'm kind of numb on this one because I knew, like I say, I knew coming in that they were scouted better, but man, come on. 20 points at home. McMillian, his first points of the game. We're hitting the 3-pointers. I hope that's something we continue to do. We missed one there. Another one from McMillian. He might be hot. He's 6 points. Okay, now we're within 12. Was that a foul? Okay, now I'm gonna go with the motivating again, and I'm gonna motivate just McMillian because I'm gonna see if this makes a difference too. He is one of those guys who has a little bit of ratings. His ratings are low in terms of the coach relationship, so I'm going to try to build him up a little bit in game, see if that makes a difference. All right, so we got a chance. Come on, we missed it. Could have gone within double digits here, maybe to end the half. That would have been nice. They hit a 3-pointer right at the buzzer. So, yeah, they are the better team. I guess looking at that scouting report, it apparently was accurate. They're up 15 points, 12 for 14 at the free throw line. Looks like they're getting a lot of their points in the paint. So I feel like they must have a size advantage, but big issue I see here is field goal attempts. I mean, we're not too far behind them in percentage, but we have gotten almost 10, it's 34 to 25 in field goal attempts. If we hadn't made those 3-pointers, this wouldn't even be a game. I mean, they would be at the half up well over 20. They're out rebounding us 21 to 11. That's where the shooting is coming in. Maybe the second chance baskets. Their offensive rebounds 10 to our 2. So that's where the big trouble's coming from. Turnovers 4 for them, 10 for them. That's where the other big trouble's coming from. Jepsen leads the way in scoring, so maybe he's back on track. Holland, not too bad of a first half. 5 points, 4 rebounds. McMillian, 3 assists, 6 points. Good first half for him, but this is who we miss. Scott Jensen, no points, just 4 field goal attempts. He's got to have a better second half, or we're not even going to be in this game at all. So I'm going to stick things the way they are, with the exception of I'm going to try to keep the crashing offensive boards a little bit. I'm going to move back on the defensive intensity and defensive crash the boards. I'm going to see what happens. We're going to stay focused on the outside game. And we lose rebound right away. I mean, they're really... and Jepsen, 2 quick fouls. So he's going to have to sit. I don't know that we've been out-rebounded by... Look at that, 3 straight. I don't think we've been out-rebounded by a team like we have been here in this game. But we've had a couple of good baskets here. We've cut the lead to 12. Once again, they get the rebound. And we're already up 3 fouls, to their none, send him to the line. He makes 1 and 2. It's a 13-point game. I mean, we're already playing better offensively, but we have got to get some rebounds. I don't know what's going on with that. And we got to quit sending him to the line. 15 for 18. And we throw it away. So this is another struggle with this team. We get a hot streak going and we immediately cool off. So we got within a pretty good tally there or whatever score wise, and we haven't been able to hit anything since. Still can't hit anything. Shooting down to 43% now. I mean, I really kind of like that we're going for threes. I'm not really telling them, but I don't know how else we're going to get in this game if we don't start getting lucky with some three-pointers. Although that was a good move. It's an 11-point game, and we can't convert. That's what I'm saying. It's like we have that chance to get within 10, and we start playing badly again. A turnover. And the turnovers are really not even close. 13-5. Another one, 14-5. And I've got the pace slowed down where I usually keep it, so that shouldn't be an issue. This is so frustrating. 5 fouls to none. I mean, there's no way you can win a game when that's how it's going. I mean, it must be total fouls. We must be approaching 20 to their maybe 6, 5 for the game. We finally hit a basket. I think that was the first field goal we've had, and it was a three-pointer, and I don't know how long. But they have such a big lead on us again. It's a 14-point game. Another three-pointer from Jepson. He has 13 points, one of his best games in a while. So I'm just going to, I mean, McMillion's had a tough half, but I'm just going to praise Jepson and just leave it at that. He's usually his attitude's pretty good, but he deserves some praise. He's a little bit more motivated. I don't think he's going to be able to carry the team though. But it is back to 11 points. This is where we've been letting them back in it. And how can you motivate a guy and he right away turns around and gets his 4th foul of the game? And they hit a three-pointer. It's a 14-point game. We hit a three-pointer. That was Ike King, who's having a good scoring game. Maybe I just needed to kind of talk about him a little bit. But they're up by 13. Another good move for Mike King. Man, he's having his best game of the year. And a charge on the other end. So before I click that button, come on, this is your chance to at least get within 10 points. They've been giving us this chance the whole game. And there you go. A three-pointer from Jensen. And it's an 8-point game. Out of bounds to Liberty. We had an even bigger chance on that one. But a foul on the other end. 7-1 in team fouls. I mean, that's why I say it. My strategy has really started to become just raise that intensity level, because you're going to out-foul the other team anyway. And another three-pointer, man. 12 for 23. I just think it's probably youth on this team. Hopefully that'll get better as the season goes on, but you cannot win games when you're up on fouls like that. And I tell you, Ike King is playing well right now. 10 points, he's going to go to the line. We've closed the gap on rebounds. Still turnovers, they're still way ahead on the advantage there, but their shooting has gotten a little worse. We just need to keep them away from the free throw line if we can help it. So King, it's 1 of 2. We're within 6. And that was Hart who's gonna get the foul. Still big advantage on the fouls, but And Hart's not the greatest free throw shooter, as you just saw. We're 5 for 11 in free throws, but that's not going to be a factor here because it's so far out of bounds, or they're so far ahead of us in free throws. We're not going to even make it the dent at the line. It's a 7-point game, and it's deflected out of bounds. We're having and shot clock violation. We had a really tough time that possession. Good move inside. It's a 5-point game, but they hit a 3-pointer, and we're just going to have to keep doing threes. They're up by 10 again. A big Hart hit a 3-pointer. Okay, now I'm just going to turn it all the way up at this point. I know it's a 7-point game, but we've got to win. No, we can't make the threes. Good move there from Jensen. So maybe we wasted some opportunity there with all those threes attempts, but hey, we're within 5. I expect us to probably foul here. One of these possessions. Come on. And Jensen is going to go to the line again. And this is a 3-point game now. Maybe we shouldn't shoot threes at this point. Let them do what they want to do. A foul. I knew it was coming. And he makes them both. It's a 5-point game. Jensen, a good play. They miss it. We got the rebound. We should have tried the 3 at that point. So now we're going to have to go back to shooting threes. And I think this is where it gets... we tie it. Oh my gosh. I was just about to say, this is where it gets tough with the speed that I have it set on. Okay. We have a 3-point lead with 2 seconds left. How did that happen? I don't know. So now I'm going to go a little bit with a full court. I'm going to drop the intensity down just a little bit. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to hope that they don't have time to make a 3-pointer. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. And they don't. Wow, what a win. So that was totally unexpected, but that got us where we needed to get. We're back to 500 as a team, but I needed to see us make that kind of a run, and wow, that was crazy. So crazy that I really didn't even keep up with it towards the end. But we won that with 3-pointers. Over 50%, 15 for 29. We had a much better second half. Obviously, it was just like flipped on its end, although we had a better second half than their first half. But everything just fell into place there towards the end. That's incredible how those last 5 minutes were just the best basketball this team's played all year. So I'm starting to get really optimistic about the team. I think Jensen, who I said at the half he needed to score. Well, look what he did, 17 points. He was the player of the game. I think that's the 3rd player of the game he's gotten this year. Jepsen was back to scoring. Holland, 8 rebounds inside, 5 points from him. Laws, again, 7 points. That's where he's about averaging. That's not great for the minutes he's playing, but +4. I mean, he gives you some blocks, some steals. His defense is pretty good. And then off the bench, Ike King, his career high, career best game, scoring-wise, 11 points, a couple rebounds. Not much else from the bench. I mean, Hart was okay, but he's getting quite a bit of minutes there at center. And then Marshak, who I've got playing power forward as well. No, shooting guard, sorry. 9 points from him, but what a win. We won it just the way we had to, which was from the outside. Just incredible. We only led this team. We only led at the end. I mean, that's incredible. We only led. No, four lead changes. Amazing. So that's going to put us in a lot better shape for this season. I'm pretty convinced of that. I mean, we're 4-4. Looking at the rest of it was a full slate of games here from the conference. I mean, New Hampshire beat Jacksonville State. Tennessee State lost. Eastern Illinois had a big win over Hawaii. SIU Edwardsville lost. Tennessee Tech a big win. Southeast Missouri State, Morehead State, and Belmont another loss from them. And this is a team we play to end up our non-conference schedule. So you look at the standings now. We're middle of the pack, if not a little bit better, and that's really good considering where we were at. And you know, I always feel like with 11 non-conference games, I want to come out of there with 6 wins. Ideally, that would be great. So we're at 4. 4-4. I think it's going to be tough to finish above 4 wins, even with these 3 games left. I mean, we're definitely we are the underdog against UNLV. We're going to be the underdog, I'm sure, against Indiana away. And then San Francisco might be the game, even though they just beat Belmont. I think they beat Belmont at home. So let me see what... I don't have a scouting for them yet. So that's going to be the one I need. That would be the one that I need to win to kind of salvage a decent non-conference record. But even so, considering you guys, if you saw that first episode, you were here for it. I mean, that was a terrible, terrible way to start the season. So the fact that we are now winning and we're at 500 and we're competitive with these teams, it's just awesome. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better. And as much as I was dogging the team in this game, the way they came back, they really shut me up. I mean, that was a great game. One of the better games I think I've had in this series. Maybe you'll agree or not, but definitely I can't think of a better comeback we've had, really. It may have been in that first season if we had one like that at all. But I'm going to wrap up this episode here. I am definitely going to go through these other 3 games offline. And I don't know if I want to start out on the road with Tennessee Martin, but somewhere in here will be my next episode when we're back to conference play and see what we're looking like. We may have a chance, if nothing else, to be as competitive this year as we were last year. But as always, thanks for the support. Appreciate the likes on the video. Hope you guys are still enjoying the series, and I will see you next episode.